stories, opposing views in the government on whether classes should resume in August. President Duterte is against it. His health secretary says it's safe for students to go back to school. But what do educators and learning institutions think about this? We go above and beyond the headlines with lawyer Joseph Noel Estrada. He is the managing director and legal counsel of the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations. Attorney Estrada, good evening.
Good evening, Pia, and to all of your viewers. Good evening to all of you.
Yes, Attorney Estrada, this is something that private schools have been preparing for, right? Ever since the pandemic began and ever since Luzon went under that ECQ. Pinag-uusapan na ng mga private schools, how are we going to adjust to this? Am I correct?
Yeah, we've been preparing for the school opening ever since March, but we're moving towards flexible learning options. We're not even talking about asking the students to report back to the schools. We are not ready to do that, and we will not compromise the security and the safety and the health of our students. So we continue to prepare, but definitely under remote learning, and there will be no face-to-face or residential learning as of this time. That's out of our. We're not even preparing for that at this point.
And of course, Attorney Estrada, this will mean, for example, no, in a 6-hour day for a student, yung 6 hours na yun will not be spent entirely on Zoom, for example, in a Zoom class, in an online class. Parang ika-cut up, ano? For example, one online session and then they do something on their own and then babalik sa online. Is that how it's going to look like?
Well, it will actually be combination of different modalities that would be available on a school-to-school basis. It can be online, fully online. It can be also offline. It can be synchronous, like every student will go at the same time learning, although it will be under video conferencing, for example, or other asynchronous modalities, meaning the students learn at their own time, at their own pace, using textbooks, using learner materials that will be delivered to them to pick up points or even to their homes. But definitely the students will not go out. So we have a variety of modalities that are actually being developed by our teachers and with also the help of a lot of experts. So we can do a lot of things. We can deliver education without asking the students to go back to our schools.
Attorney Estrada, flexible learning, of course, will depend very greatly on technology, the availability of gadgets. Also, not all families that send their children to private schools, have one laptop or one gadget per student. Sometimes there are some families na isang gadget para sa 3, 4 na bata, halimbawa. So those are some of the considerations. Sometimes mahina ang Wi-Fi, minsan prepaid, maraming mga parang kailangan pang-isipan na kailangan the teachers and the school will have to take into consideration also, correct?
Yeah, definitely. It's a consideration. And a lot of the students, based on their economic background, would not be able to absorb the cost of moving towards this technology-based or technology-enhanced delivery of education. This is why we think that the government should come in and provide the needed economic and policy interventions. Because while delaying school opening would alleviate the pressure on our healthcare system, it will eventually have a strain on our economy. Because another aspect of another impact of the delayed school opening is the impact on labor. And of course, the families and the parents who would have to stay to take care of their children and who would not be able to work anymore. So definitely, we're thinking of asking the government for help for us to do this because definitely the private sector will not be able to absorb the entire 27 million learners into the private education system.
Intervention or help, perhaps meaning subsidy. But thank you very much for joining us, Attorney Estrada of Cucupea. The government is now preparing